All right. Hello and welcome to the stream. We are going to be playing some more Ignition Zoom. Let me get the audio set up here so you guys can listen along on Spotify. Last time I tried using the Twitch soundtrack, and I think it was still broken, so I'll figure that one out later. But yeah, let's try and get started here. I think we got everything we need. All right. Um, let's do this. Okay, so starting off with A7 offsuit in the small blind. I think we could play limp with that. We'll see what the big blind does. I think we just. I think we should have. I think we should have RFI bet there, honestly. And I think we just let this go. All right, so not off to a great start, but at least we didn't lose a bunch of money. Yeah, I think the next step is to, I just kind of finished my like pre-flop theory chapter. So I think the next step is to try and like analyze my existing pre-flop ranges and kind of make sure that they are in line, I guess, with what they should be, or like if they make sense for this skill level. As of another book, oh man, there's a lot of flush draws out there. Probably are beat. Yeah. Well, we lost a minimal amount of money there, only like 30 cents. So I'll take that as a win. All right, we got Q8. Q8 suited from the hijack. We can raise. It looks like it might just be us in the blinds. See what the blinds do. Give it to us. All right, we'll take it. Little chunk up there on our graph. Need a few more of those to get back up. Okay, so ace king offsuit in the low jack. I think we actually can 4-bet this. So 150. And he gives it to us. Interesting. I don't think I've actually done that before. Yeah, that was, I guess, part of my reading is realizing that, there are certain ranges I should be 4-betting. And it's, I think the part of the problem is right now, like, I don't. Let go. Like my charts just really talk about 3-betting. They don't really talk about 4-betting. So that was interesting. I actually kind of want to pause that and take a look at it one more time. All right, 7-6 suited from the cutoff. Yeah, we'll go in. Oh, okay. Bored everybody to death. All right, so I'm gonna pause after this hand. We'll just let this go. Okay. And so what I want to do is take a look at my theory book and see if we actually did the right thing there in looking at a replay of the hand there. So I will kind of switch over to explanation mode. And I will pull up a replay of the hand. Okay. So we are in the low jack seat. We two bet the cutoff 3 bets, and then we 4 bet. So well, let's just pull up what it says here in our Modern Poker Theory book and see if we did the right thing here. So in the low jack, I'm actually a little surprised. Doesn't actually start with anything in the hijack seat or low jack seat. I guess because typically we wouldn't be facing. I guess this isn't exactly an open raise, right? So, but the cutoff 3 betting range. Okay, well, here we go. So general strategy when facing 3 bets versus each position. So in this case, we would be out of position. So our average response is actually like we are versus cutoff. We're 4 betting 23% of the hands, calling 14% of the hands, and folding 63% of the hands. So it says against the CO, you can 4-bet slightly wider than the hijack because the cutoff 3-bet range is slightly wider. Also, you were happier getting it all in with Jack-Jack and 10-10 pre-flop. So yeah, I think we did decently here. I mean, we could look at the... Yeah. So if you think someone's out of line with their 3-bet frequency, then to exploit them, you first need to assess how they will react to a 4-bet. If they will fold most of the time, you can 4-bet a polarized range, opting to bluff with hands that have good blockers, such as ace-5. If the villain is likely to call your 4-bet with a wide range and only 5-bet premium hands, the best approach is to 4-bet a linear range so you can extract immediate value and have strong range post-flop. If the villain is likely to 5-bet all in wide, then don't be afraid to 4-bet/call off with hands such as ace queen. So I think that we did the right move here. At least that's what it would seem. I mean, we can take a look here. So let's take a look in Flopzilla at what our range is, and then what the 4-bet versus calling range would be. And I'm pretty sure it'll tell us that ace king offsuit is in that range, but let's double check. So we let's see here. So we were in the low jack seat. So this is our range here. And the book is telling us that we should be versus cutoff, basically 63% of those hands are fold. And so let's see, can we adjust? Okay. So it'll let us manually do this, but it won't let us take a custom range and start messing with it. But what this is saying is this range is about 17% of all hands. And so if we cut it down to, so what is, 23% of 17%? 23 times dot 17 is about 4%. So if we reduce this down to the top 4% of hands, we can just type in 4. That gives us high pocket pairs in this. I don't think that seems quite right, honestly. Really? Within, if I just say 4%, it's going to give us that. Interesting. I'm surprised that Ace King offsuit is not in that top 4% of hands. If we increase it to like 5%, still don't get Ace King off. 6% then gives us Ace King off. Now, according to our pre-flop ranges here, so we are in low jack. That doesn't even have a range for low jack for betting. I think it just kind of, so. I think we did the right thing. I mean, it seems like Ace King offsuit would be at the pretty top edge of our hands, but maybe I'm mistaken as to how powerful an Ace King offsuit really is. I thought it would have been in the top 4%, but I guess I'm wrong. Looks like it's in the top 6%. So let's keep going. I'm gonna start back our sanity timer. Oh, sad that I took too long to explain everything. So let's get back here. Okay. Play mode. Size the window. And we should be good. And play that. So that is not a great hand to play. It's the very bottom of our range, so we know that we're not looking good here. We have the straight draw, 5-6. So gut shot straight draw. We need the 8, but okay. So we have 2 pair. Pretty sure if he has a heart. Wow, he didn't have a heart either. That was wild. Expecting him to at least have 1 heart. So I didn't put any money in, but I guess I could have slowed down there and thought about why isn't he betting at all, and maybe if I'd bet on the river with the 4th heart, he would have seen that as show strength, I guess, or probably would have folded to that if he has no hearts at all. Go. 10-3 will also let go. Jack 5 also not actionable. Sorry for the noise. I think my dog is having fun upstairs. Okay, Queen 4 suited, but in the low jack, not high enough. In the button, it would have been high enough. Now, 4 king on the button is definitely high enough, so we can play that. If this guy decides to raise, oh, he didn't. Even versus the cutoff, 4 king, we would have let go. They had raised. Okay, so we see the flop. Doesn't come in great for us. There is pretty connected there. I don't think we need to continue on that without any strength there. Flop was 9-6-8. We had a 4, so we would have needed what, like a 5 and a 7. So So we only have like a 1% chance of winning there. Queen 9 offsuit go from cutoff. Button, we could have played that. We'll play this though. And all folds. Alright. Hey, 6 on the button is playable. Not a great hand though. If this guy raises, we fold. Let that go right away. Oh, is my sanity timer going? It is not. It should be. Five, 6 suited. No, facing a raise. Not quite. 9 jack from the high jack, or low jack actually is. Oh, actually that was playable. Just need to work on memorizing my ranges at this point. I think I just have trouble with the edges now. I know most of the ranges, but like jack 9 is on the edge of the range. This is another one at the edge of the range. We do play it from the cutoff, but we are maybe a little nervous. Now we're out of position, so he has the advantage. There are going to be 3 people in the pot? There is. Interesting. 10 jack gives us the straight, but with 2 hearts on the board as well. I'm not really liking it. And this guy overbets 200% or 150%, somewhere in there. I don't think there's any reason to keep going with him. Play that. And he 3-bets us. I don't think this is really within our calling range. I should pause and see if that is actually supposed to be in our calling range. Timeout. Alright, I need some water, sugar, get my brain energy back up. Not looking great here. We have one connector, but I guess we have an overpair. Pretty sure we're out of luck here. Yeah, the ace-4 suited. All right, so this is a hand we can play. See if this person I feel like with the overpair we can just go to 9-10 jack. Don't have any kings. We have no. I think we let that one go. Not feeling great about today again. I think, you know, this is a learning experience for me. I'm not going to get too upset that I'm losing. What I do need to do, though, what I need to make sure I'm doing is writing down my gaps and my issue. So I think one of the issues is like facing a 3-bet, what to do. Okay, so here we need a 10 to make the straight, otherwise we have nothing. Ace 2, 3, 5, so yeah, just high card ace. I'm kind of curious what he has. I think the other thing is, like, I think I might just be overthinking the betting at these levels. You know, that hand in particular, I thought maybe he's bluffing. Maybe he's just trying to scare me out of the pot. Not realizing that, you know, at these levels, I think we should be taking most bets at face value and just sticking with hands that we know we can survive with. We have a flush draw. I don't think that hits him any better than it hits me. The fact that he... So 2 pair. I have the ace. Let's see what he does. Maybe he had like a low pair and then the second pair counterfeited his bottom pair. But because I had the ace kicker, I got that. Not entirely sure why he... Oh yeah, we bet it. He called. So yeah, like, I think... So I'm just like writing in my notes here, responding to 3 bets. And the question is, like, what ranges should I be aware of? I mean, this is somewhat helpful. That's not going to work on the camera, but, you know, it's a average response versus 3-bet graph there. We try to steal the blinds here as a small blind. It does not work, but we have top pair. So I think we can keep going. C-bet. I don't know if he just doesn't believe us or if he's just missing a draw. In which case, I think we just try to make it expensive for him to try and hit his draw, whatever that is. I don't... Possible he has a straight here. There's 8, 9, 10, so he could have Jack Queen or 6, 7. 6, 7 definitely makes a straight. You gonna bet it big here? No. Let's just have it. Okay. Interesting. Another one where I am not sure if I should have cooled down on the river or if I should have kept, like, triple barreled it. Maybe he was just, like, scared to try the bluff because he knew he had crap. I don't know. Maybe he had like ace 9 or some other low pair like ace 5. I think would have lost to me there with the ace 10. He could have been hoping for the straight with an ace-5 or some ace number that was somewhere in that straight range. Just missed his draw. 6 ace, we don't need to. That. Nine offsuit. Well, not gonna be continuing against a raise, but could have been in raise first in. Ace-10 offsuit from the low jack is at the very bottom of our range. So if someone were to raise there, we would have folded. I think our win-loss number is a little off because I played a couple hands and then the hand reset, or the stack reset because the window timed out. That's why our win-loss is not exactly equal to our stack here. Or it's not tracking our stack exactly. Right? Try to scare this guy out if he's going to limp in. I don't really have a hand strong enough to try and scare him. Now we do. Interesting. He calls a pot-sized bet. And now we get the third 10. Hoping he will try to bluff us. It's possible he has another 10, but I think we have him beat here. Okay. That was nice. We won a hand. We're up a little bit now. Session. So I think my goal for these streams, I appreciated 64 Ninja give me a shout out on his stream. That was really cool. He mentioned that my streams were pretty short, which they are. They're definitely some of these streamers are pretty intense. They're going like 8 hours a day. There's no way I'm doing that. But I was thinking about, should I make the stream longer? How could I do that while like keeping my bankroll decent? Because I will definitely tilt if I get too tired in terms of playing. So I was thinking of just like mixing it up between the explanation and the playing, putting the explanations in the middle as we're playing them, rather than at the end. And that way I'm not as tired when I'm doing the explanation, but I am hopefully at least giving my brain a little bit of rest between playing so that I can kind of be a little more self-aware when I am playing. So I think that's how we're going to try it for today. We'll just pause the sanity timer when we're explaining and try to resume it when we're playing and try to get a full hour of playing in, and whether that's an hour and a half stream or 2 hour stream or hour 15-minute stream, whatever it is, should be pretty good. I'm gonna try to set the schedule for like 3 to 5 on weekdays, Pacific time. King 8 at the very bottom of our range. I think with a limper, maybe that wasn't the best idea, but we'll see what he does. He may just leave the pot and we just get the blinds. No, he's gonna call. Not a great hand for either of us. We now have a straight draw with the 7. So I'm gonna bet it. Now the question is, do I try to bluff or do I bet it here? I think let him take. I think he's calling. So yeah, I'll try to keep the stream, like, we'll have at least an hour of poker. That's the goal for my stream. we'll see how that goes. But it does mean you guys have to deal with me consuming sugar on the stream. So. 2 7-2s in a row. Not making for good entertainment. That's right. Okay, so Jack 5 in the big blind. Pretty much unplayable hand. We can check it. Do a fold to a raise. Same with 2-8. I think it's not even worth limping. Ace Jack offsuit. In the hijack, we will play. We fold that to a 3-bet, yeah. A 2-2 there, we... No. Doesn't feel like a great hand, honestly. Alright, 8 queen. Try limping. See what he does. Probably could have just thrown it away. And yeah, we're getting into another crappy situation like that. Where we miss both of our pairs by 1. And I mean, he doesn't have a king. Well, that's just... We just treat that as a check. And always treat like a big blind bet as a... Now I have seen people triple barrel with min raise with 5 cents every time on every bet. That was interesting. By the end, I was like, "Hey, wait, you got some money out of me." I don't think we continue with 5s here. Ace 5 offsuit and a small blind is not the worst thing in the world. We can all verify that. I'm gaming. But neither did he. Big blind was also in here. So him and I have pretty wide range. The button is just kind of bully us around here. We just let it go. I kind of want to see what's going on. Obviously, playing in the small blind and big blind are the hardest part of poker. It's going to take the most study for me to try and nail that down. Just because the math is a lot different, the ranges are a lot different. You end up in weird situations because you're trying to defend a lot more. Because if you let everything go as big blind and small blind, you're losing a lot of money in the long run. Whoa. Whoa. We 3-bet and we get 4-bet. And that happens. Gosh darn it. I mean, 20 cents of the pot. That's like what, 10% of the pot or something? That's a get re-raised. Well, now I'm just getting suckered into this. I think we let it go. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen though. I want to see what these jokers have. I also didn't see that at the beginning, but that top player is short stacked. Okay. Interesting. I mean, that 20-cent bet on the $2 pot makes sense now. Weird. Also just like, you know, luck. We had an ace and a queen suited. We didn't get our suit. There was not a single Broadway card on that whole flop. So, what can you do? Especially without a pocket pair. I think I'm glad I got out when I did. I think the only thing I would do if I want to... I mean, I'll go back and review that hand, I think. Because now... I'm just curious if I did the right thing pre-flop. Do you have a 3? Making me a little nervous that he's calling every single bet. I run into that occasionally, and I'm just so confused by it. Like, I triple barrel. You'd think they would get the mess. I triple barrel with top pair. That wasn't that much. But I guess just the board texture, like, there were no other overcards for me. So then when he... I think I should have just stuck with my like normal 3-bet number there. I just overbet on my 3-bet because he bet 20. He overbet on his RFI, and of course we miss it. Of course, but well, okay. I mean, there's no flushes, probably no straights out there. He starts to get a little braver. He's betting $1.88. He probably has a king. He could possibly have 2 pair. He could have king 10. Okay, let it go. Not super happy about that one. Did go a little quick for me. I wasn't really sure what to do at the end there. I think I would have. I think he had at least a pair, and so I was essentially drawing to 6 outs. He put in a half pot size bet, so giving me 25% odds. And of course, there's an ace out there. I think calling this. I'm just hoping. I just have 2 outs right here. Yeah, it's the ace. So I suppose I could have bet the flop higher though, but if he has the ace, he has us dominated. That's a tough one. Oh, okay. Thanks, 64 Ninja. I will. Let's see if I can turn this down a bit. Go. Is that any better? Let's see. Alright, we miss our straight. He's gonna take it. Alright, Jack 9 on the button. Play that. Versus the cutoff, it is a 4-bet, so we'll try that. So I think that's like a polarized bet here. It's at the very bottom of our range, but we try to kind of treat the bottom of our range the same as the top of our range to make sure that make the opponent kind of indifferent to a 3-bet in their strategy. So that was one of those where it was at the very bottom of our range, but we got away with it. So it kind of proves the point that you only have to get away with it a few times in order for it to be profitable in the long run. We just kind of find ourselves in a weird hand here where the button limps, and we have middle pair. And then hold that one. I was trying to figure out why 64 Ninja that you didn't respond right away, and then I realized that I think I put in like a 2-ish minute delay for the stream. Just while we're playing poker. Probably better to be safe than sorry on that. Okay, we have. I mean, if he has Jack, if he could have Jack Queen, then he has a. Seems a lot unnecessary, but is workable now. Okay. I'm actually surprised it's so loud. We'll try that. I mean, honestly, I could probably just mute it. I don't think there's any reason to 448 test. Okay. I need to write down all the volume levels that are optimal. Well, we had a bit of a bummer run there. Got this. Kind of debating, just pausing here and maybe looking at some of the bad hands. Okay. Ace King offsuit. Sure, nobody's gonna. Oh, okay. We will 3-bet this guy. See what happens. Give up? No. He's gonna 4-bet us. This is where we 5-bet it. Oh, and I have him. Nice. Unless he gets the straight. No, I didn't. Ta-da! Whew. We're gonna end in the positive today. Maybe, if I don't lose all my money. maybe now's a good time to stop and do some analysis on the hands while we are up and our mood is good. Know when to stop. Yeah, I think we'll... Let's switch to analysis mode and kind of take a look at some of these hands here. Try to figure out if we can... how we could have improved on some of these plays. Oh, now three-way pot with 3 bets. I'm kind of interested what's going to happen here. So they were jumping at the gun. Okay, this guy bets $1.50 and he takes it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna switch to explanation mode. We're gonna kind of look at some of these hands here. Minimize all these windows. Let us just sort. So we can do this. We can say filter by review, and these are the hands we want to review. So we had 2 hands where we had suited ace queen, and we lost both. So that's kind of interesting. Let's start with the one where we have more cards, more information. Oh, and we know this guy's whole card, so even better. I'm going to pull up the range equity tool. And we will put in our cards of ace queen of spades. Okay, so right away, just taking a look at this hand here, the hand history, we see that we get oddly min raised, and then somebody else min raised on top of him, which I will tell you is not normal. This is not normal betting behavior for what the books would tell you to do. The books would tell you to, if you're going to raise 3 times the big blind. So that happens, and then if you're going to raise, if someone else is going to raise before that, then you would raise 3 times the previous bet. So it should be 5, 15, 45, but instead it's 5, 10, 15. So already weird stuff going on. Everybody, okay, and then I was in small blind, so I get the chance to do an actual 3-bet. And then this guy 4 bets, but also the incorrect amount, because a 4-bet, as we can kind of see here in our Excel sheet, a 4-bet should be $1.15 given the small and big blinds. So he is doing like half that. So we're already like way off the rails. Just as some background. All I want to do is drag the darn window away. All right. So we're off in La La Land. Everybody calls at 75 cents. Which is like half a 4-bet. And we're off to the flop. And it is all suited on the suit that we do not have. Let's just punch this in and see what we're looking at here. I should also note that we do have 2 other people in, so we are looking at a multi-way pot. That does change things a bit in terms of the math. With Flopzilla, we can click switch to multiplayer mode. And so it makes the window bigger and obviously unreadable to you, the viewer. So let's just go with the main villain here, the pair of 9s. He 3-bet us, or he RFI'd and then he called a 3-bet, basically. Okay. We called a re-raise, which either of these ranges cover him. I'm going to be We'll put him here, 7%. So based on that, we are looking at 57% equity. So we are not doing bad, but then when we see the flop, what do we have? We have 7 to 8 diamonds. 7 to 8 diamonds. Suddenly our equity is at 39%. So I think right off the bat, just seeing those numbers, what I'm realizing is I just should have let it go. Even though it was a great hand, the math says that it is not good enough to keep going. Just because like 37% of his hands are going to have flush draws. He only 50% of his hands are not made. The rest are made. You know, he's going to have overpairs, sets, and flushes. 7% of his hands have already made a flush by the time the flop comes. So I think this is where I screw up because I just wanted to hang on to my nice premium hand too long. I thought, surely I have something great. He bets, and I call. Now, the reason for that is because I looked at the bet size and then I looked at the pot and I thought, that's weird. His bet size was only 20 cents, and into a pot of 225, that is giving us pot odds of like 12 to 1 or like 8 per, you know, so this number here is showing us the pot odds, right? So it's saying I only have to win this bet 8% of the time in order to win. And so that versus the 39% meant that I could stay in profitably. Even though in retrospect, I probably could have folded here and just saved myself some pain. But we go anyways. And then we get a re-raise. And then we all... Okay, and then that's where I fold. So I think I realized it. I was like, okay, somebody here knows at least a little bit more math than everybody else. Still, the 40 cents to me also just decreases the pot odds. So these guys are just nonsense bet sizing, but at the end of the day, I just didn't get anything on the flop, and I should have, and so I let it go. So I think that I'm trying to debate if that was the right move or not. I mean, according to the math, I could have stayed in because I win 39% of the hands. But with these guys, with their weird bet sizing and their re-raising and re-raising and the flush board where I miss everything, I'm just kind of assuming somebody has me beat at this point. Let's keep going and just see what happens here in terms of the odds. So we get a 2 of clubs. Our equity goes up a little bit to 40%. Another 8% pot odds bet. He raises to 95 cents. They call. And then 2 of spades. So our equity is at 44%. And there's a bet, call, he shows, he gets it. Now, in this case, I would have lost, right, with ace queen suited. I had no pairs, and there was 3 2s. So this guy had a full house, 2s over 9s, with the pocket pair. Pretty impressive. Yeah, 42% of his hands are full houses. And that's because we gave him a pretty generous range because he called our re-raise. So that makes sense. So I think that's maybe something I was also worried about, but not really thinking about. Now, the next step we could do is we could just take a look at what GTO has to say about this, about like when GTO would have... I'm kind of curious if GTO would have folded earlier than I did. so let us. I don't know if this is going to be super helpful, but we'll try it. What did we give this guy? Give this guy the 7% range here. And he was out of position. And then we, sure why it's not aware that GTO is up, used. We had a small blind. We were in small blind, and we, oh no, sorry, we were in big blind, and we re-raised. I think looks reasonable. Actually, I think we'll just go with this. Oh, I think it's blanking out. Okay. Let's send this range over. Can't. But I think it's in here. So in position has something like this. Our board is 728. Let me make sure you all can read that. Yeah. Okay. So 728 of diamonds. We will. The starting pot was 225. And effective stacks were about $5. Always 5%. And then these have been really weird. I'm going to go with this pre-done bet tree. We're going to build it. We're going to run the solver, but we're going to run the solver really generously because we are, or really, I should say, really inaccurately, because we are on the stream and we don't want this to take too long. Okay, so we got within 1%. That is within 1% of like the optimal solution, or the perfect solution, I should say. Okay, so out of position, right off the bat, it is saying that 96% of the hands should check, 3% should bet. Those numbers should have. Did I screw something up? I was expecting to see more than one bet option because of our tree structure. So this is saying 66.7% pot. And it's because the pot is so big. Okay. So let's do like, what is let's redo this with something like 25% pot because the starting pot was already so big. So we're going to build a new tree and we're going to resolve it. And so now it's still very confused. Must be me screwing this up somehow. Okay, so this is taking a little longer. Maybe this will actually be accurate. Yeah, there you go, 25% pot. Okay, so at the lower bet sizes, it's actually betting a bit more. So the computer is basically looks like it's checking most of its hands, right? It's going to be with a 7 8 7 2 of diamonds. If it has ace 10 of diamonds and it has the flush, it's going to bet it. Otherwise, if it has these aces, suited aces with diamonds, it's betting. Otherwise, and then maybe like if it has an ace in an offsuit hand, it's also going to bet. If it has a pocket pair, betting some but not a lot, mostly checking. And we can kind of see that in the upper right here. So it's saying like the blue is bet, the green is check. So it's betting the aces and maybe checking the king queen. And that's probably because, our opponent could have the ace of diamonds and have us beat. So our opponent probably missteps here by betting right off the bat. But he does it anyway. So what happens if we do that? Then do we facing a raise? Oh, it has us calling most of the time. So in this case, it has us calling with pocket pairs, raising with jacks and queens. So interestingly, it has us raising a fair amount of time, especially when we have either pocket aces or some suited aces. If we have the flush there, then we're betting. And if we don't have anything made, then we're getting out, right? So ace queen. In this case, ace queen suited, we can see that we are folding anything that's not diamonds. So what we had the ace queen of spades. It has us folding half, calling half, raising third of the time. And that distribution is just because like it's like the only way to have a balanced strategy is to like against yourself, like in a clairvoyant situation where both opponents know each other's strategy. You essentially kind of need to randomize your actions in order to make the opponent indifferent to your action. So in this case, it's saying that, okay, like half the time I'm going to fold, half the time I'm going to check or call. But in this case, the suit it's 56% fold, 43% check. So we fold more often than we call. Sorry, I keep mixing up call and check. But anyways, so I think we did the right thing facing that bet. We folded, knowing that we had no chance on the flush, that our opponent probably has pretty decent range. So we did the right thing. So it's interesting. I mean, it's tough because like we lost a fifth of our stack in one go, but looking at this, we probably stopped the loss quite a bit. We definitely would have lost the hand if we had kept going. But even not knowing that, we are only winning, well, if an ace or a queen had come up. So I guess that would have been, we would have had 6 outs. And that's assuming he didn't have any diamonds. So yeah, back to this, like, even at the very end, not counting the turn in the river, we're looking at 32% equity. We're winning 26% of the time. So yeah, I think we made a decent fold. The fact that the bet sizes were so weird meant that, yeah, theoretically we could have called and been okay, but we kind of just read it as something's wonky. Let's get out and save our money, and we did. So I think I'm happy with how that hand went. Then, just looking back at this now, I think we didn't lose as much as we really needed to. Now, if I had gone and reanalyzed the pre-flop madness, I'm not sure if I would have done this the same. I guess Yeah. Anyways. Okay. I'm gonna go back to playing. We'll go back to playing for a few more minutes. I forgot to turn the sanity timer off, pause it while we were talking. So it's about 5:10 right now. Maybe we'll give ourselves like another 15 minutes. So let me set that there. Go back to our screen here. Looks like it kept our session, which is nice. I'm gonna close the tools. And we'll open up our new game. It's gonna get us back out. Okay. Play a little bit more poker. So 7-10, facing a 3-bet. Let that go. I don't think we would have kept it anyways. Even facing just a 2-bet. I won't talk with my mouth full, but we did get a decent hand here. And we are, I think we call that. Of course we don't get anything. He must have a strong pocket pair or something. Aces, kings. We just let this go. So first hand, not off to a great start. We will see if we can make up some money here. Keep on going. Not worry too much about the odds. I think I definitely just need to memorize what I should be calling when facing a 3-bet, which I should be either calling or re-raising. I think I have a lot of the like 2-bet like ranges memorized, but the next step is to memorize a 3-bet. Like in that case, a queen king suited versus a button 3-bet. I mean, I can see if they're in my notes here, but we're in the middle of playing, so we just have to check it out later. Trying to see if there's anything decent for me to try to find in the book about that, but I'll have to go back to it later. Okay, check pair. Maybe we can make something work with this. You got a call. Let's see ace, queen, king. Yep. Nobody is betting that. Means nobody has the queen? Interesting. that wasn't that big of a bet. You know, but maybe that's a good lesson to take. Like, I think just overfold the bets. It's okay to fold to a bet. Not gonna call that bet. Curious if someone else is gonna call. Nope. So many hands we have to let go. Very annoying. Okay, so 8 jack, button, offsuit, not a playable hand, especially not facing a raise. Queen 10, yes, playable. I had thought about that. Playable pretty much. Call here. It's big blind, so we could pretty much have anything. Of course, he probably checks. Maybe he's just trying to trap us here. If he's trying to trap us, we get out. But I'm basically just saying, hey, at least I have a pair, man. Calls. Interesting. I don't think we need to see it. I think we can believe him. I suspect he has... I mean, he could have had ace-4 there. I would think you... I mean, maybe he's trying to trap you by checking the river, but... So ace-4 suited in the big blind. We actually could... This says to 3-bet it. See what happens. I mean, could be just that we lose all our money, and that's alright. We have a flush draw. You gonna say he has the queen? No. Missed our flush draw. We don't have a straight draw. We have a pair of 4s. I'll bet the pair of 4s. What do you got, dude? Nothing. Okay. Massive pair of 4s saved us at the end. Maybe he was just expecting us to be like bluffing, like trying to trap him or something. Maybe he thought we were slow playing like a set of queens. I don't know. I mean, we have an overpair. Possible he has a... Question is, does he hit his queen or not? Oh my gosh. If he goes all in, does that mean he has the queen? I think I want to believe him here that he has the queen. It would make sense. I think he was the initial aggressor, right? Oh, he was big blind. All right, what do you got? You have the queen? No, he had the... Oh, wow. He still played a pair of aces. Interesting. I was not expecting that. I mean, in that sense, he got me. I think at the end of the day, it's just like a matter of like my brain wanting to gamble there. I think logically, you know, he bets $1, he goes all in. He has something better than a pair. Plain and simple. I don't think he's bluffing there. Or like, I just keep forgetting that I keep overthinking it. I keep thinking that these low stakes players must be bluffing. Sanity timer is just about out. Let's see what happens. I'm sure we're not going to win here, but I'm sure somebody has 2 spades. Right? Okay, I think I'm gonna call it. Gotta stop the loss now while our graph is only a little low. Well, that was an interesting time. I think it was just me being tired and calling that guy. I really didn't need to call that guy. With the pair of aces. I mean, granted, like, what did I have? I had... Let's take a look at what I had here. So I had pocket 8s. There was a 7-4-2 on the flop, so I had overpair on the flop. And so I raise, he calls, which the books will tell you still playing aces is the right thing to do. So he's doing the right thing here. He checks, which, boy howdy, he slow played that well. I bet, he called. Same thing. Bet, call. Now he leads out and all in. Probably just trying to get as much money as he can out of this hand. And or scaring me out of my queens. I don't know. If I have queens, I definitely call here, but 8s. That's tough. Let's see what Pool says. He is big blind and he just called a raise, is that right? Very beginning. Our normal ranges don't even have aces in there. We definitely, like, these ranges are, I guess. But if he is big blind versus me and the button, this is his range. According to the Jonathan Little. And so we have pocket 8s, ace heart, ace diamond, heart to 8 diamond. And the flop is 7-4-2. 7-4-2. And so we have 69% equity. And then the 2 queens come queen diamond, queen club. Okay. Think with this music. All right. Queen diamond, queen club. We're still looking pretty darn good. We have 83% equity. We're winning 83% of those hands. But yeah, I mean, if we go back, we could go back to here, because here we at the flop we bet and he calls, right? So if he calls, he at least has, maybe middle pair. So if we filter that out, then our equity is looking a lot worse. And if we go, we bet again and he calls on the queen. And maybe we go to pocket pair over pairs. I think these filters are a little weird. So then by the river, he leads out. So we should just assume he has like an overpair at least, which would be aces or kings. So yeah. Huh. Obviously, if we filter those out, we're losing. Okay. I think my brain has about had it. Another day of loss. That's like 3 buy-ins I think I've lost now. 3 or 4. Down to like down to $25 or so. I bought in with 20, but I was up to 60 at the very peak. So I just lost like, what, 6 buy-ins? All within the last like week. So hopefully, I'm just going to keep studying. I'm going to try to keep getting better. And we'll see how it goes. So thank you, stream, for watching. Take it easy.